a social media coming at you. People, 300% people. Can't wait my love in it. People, give the teacher them people. I see corruption people. Watch down the people them out. People, every day appear arms out. People, appear money them a thief. People, and them a sell out the beach. Can't for me again. You can't for me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy candle, we can't buy time. You can't for me again. Can't for me again. You can't for me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch a blind and a resort to crime. You can't for me again. Come me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The urgent is promising to none them not deliver. Cut up the youth and rough and it's going in our river. Member bold money and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them spell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell go mash up people start and thief when them spell. People, what they tell them market man. People, what them a treat they. Stibby dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no keep. And some informer friend we lovely. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for. We in Global TV, check it.
Humpty Dumpty sat upon a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king horses and all the queen men couldn't get Humpty together again. Whoa. Oh, Humpty had a fall. Humpty said he's tracking us. Dora said, no, it's quite not so. Oh, Humpty had a fall. Good morning, and welcome. Welcome to your program. The Labour Party goes on Humpty Dumpty now, you know. Because if I did Humpty Dumpty, the disintegration of the Jamaican Labour Party since the local government election, somebody would have managed to put it back together by now. Patex, crazy glue. You know, even the gum that will fall out a tree, you could have must gum back the Labour Party together. Make they remember what they've been elected for. But I don't have to hear what Matthew Samuda said. No. I want my phone there. If you don't hear what Matthew Samuda said, no, listen. Listen. If you don't hear what Matthew Samuda tell people, so you're not listening to my community and my family members. Good morning, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, and subscribers. Good morning, Natalia Freeman, Debbie Jervis, Beat and Teach. Cousins Jamie Sim, good morning. How do you do? Morning. Patricia Matthews, good morning. Violet Watson, good morning. Cardine Humphreys, Sunshine. Conchigel 84. Good morning. Norman Ferguson, good morning. Good morning, Gloria Morris. Good morning. Brenda. Sharon Bernard. Abinasa Cody, good morning. Jason Kane, Keith Matthews. Valerie Palazzo, Palazzo. No, it's not like that. JP, good morning. Herbert Chiselin, good morning. Good morning. Evan Johnson. I don't have to hear what Matt said. We don't can't wall. Christopher Campbell. I don't hear what Matthew said. Angela Massenden, good morning. We don't can't wall. I don't hear what Matthew Samuda said. And these people love to say things. Bros, how are you? Colleen Richards. Jason Kane. Kareem Wilson. Lisa Wood Lodrick, Michelle Lewis Wilson, God's gift. Christine Gilbert, Larry Speckford, good morning, good morning. Don Fox, Pamela Akola, Tash, Brenda, good morning. Kevin Davis, Elaine Turner, Sonia Foster, Sonia Smichael, Doreen Johnson, good morning and welcome. Thank you all for joining us. Good morning. Ubuntu, good morning. Anthony Stewart, good morning. Good morning. Agency Driver 5, Marcia Thomas. Wagwan, Agency Driver, Wagwan. Good morning, all, and welcome, Raymond G. Good morning. Thank you all for joining us. You must have heard what Matthew Samuda said. Because them people are garbage on them. Remember, Prime Minister Humpty came out and said, I have chucked a young man. And when we find out say it's a political organization paid him. And there are more, the Prime Minister said, Mitchie, that we are chucking lead us to the conclusion that the Prime Minister is building a database on vloggers. One would want to ask the question, what would cause the Prime Minister to be tracking vloggers when the murder rate in the country escalates on a daily basis? And tracking the murderers would have been a good way of fighting crime. Veteran Wagwan. But then Dora came out and said, no, not quite so. We are not tracking anyone. In the context of misinformation, disinformation, and fake news, the government is singing from two different hymn sheets. One side of the choir is singing Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. And the other side of the choir is singing, ladies, we not come here so for title. You know, ladies, gospel song will say, so we don't come here so for title. Yeah. Two different hymn sheets, real sweet. And they are not Kingston. The two of them are sing from. Now, in the context of misinformation, disinformation, and fake news, whose argument do we go with? The Prime Minister, who said that he has tracked a young man, and there are more that he's tracking, or the misinformation minister that came out and told us that no one is being tracked? EM, how are you? Clean marks. But the Labour Party is disintegrating, and I want to help them to get back on track. Because I feel, can I go back on me for this now? I feel like I'm becoming sorry for them. Me not say Anthony or British R. Where you there, bro? Diane Campbell, how are you? Me know you're there. Good morning. I'm feeling sorry. Cousin Myrna, how you do? I'm feeling almost sorry for the clutching at straw disintegration of the Jamaica Labour Party. Because one thing for sure, what everyone wants to see an elected government does is get back on track with the business of the country, the business of the people. I'm sure that is what we want to see, the good governance of our country. I have that as the priority for the whole of it, don't? Even though the Prime Minister said, I don't want any of you to talk about negativity. You must see things in a positive light. Be optimistic. Do not put out too much negativity in the environment. Therefore, my entire government become negative. Out there. Will you say me not feel sorry for them out there? I'm feeling sorry for them because you can't see somebody at Joan and don't render them assistance out there. You cannot see someone drowning. Marcia Esty, how are you? and not render your assistance. Let some you know how you doing. You cannot see someone drowning and not render your assistance. So I really would want to help them get the boat back on track, because this boat they are capsizing or sinking is that boat. That is the boat that is steering our country. Emmerich Lambert, how are you? That capsized boat that I'm becoming sorry for. That capsized boat is steering our country. That capsized boat is making decision that affects all of us. So I feel sorry for them. Because if me not sorry for them now, me I go sorry for the whole of we later on. So somebody have to sorry for them. It's not going good at all, Evan Bradford. Christopher Tufton is in turmoil. Leadership is in turmoil. Doctor with a pretty foreign doctor death. Pretty foreign doctor death. Leadership is in turmoil. Him said, despite huge staff demand, Tufton vowed to new hospital will serve its purpose. We want a lot of new hospital that serves purpose, Christopher Tufton. But answer this question to us. Will this new hospital have a comprehensive diagnostic center where all of the different diagnostic apparatuses are, the Doppler ultrasound, the all type of CT scan, MRI scan, any type of those diagnostic equipment, Dr. Tufton, will you commit to the Jamaica people a diagnostic center, at least 3 diagnostic centers across the island, Christopher Tufton? One in the corporate area, one in central Jamaica in Mandeville, Manchester, and the other in Western Jamaica. Will you commit to that? And that Jamaica people are ball out for. Anthony Stewart, how you do? And that Jamaica people are ball out for. Dr. Tufton, Dr. Death with the pretty forehead. Stronger together, how you do? Your forehead too pretty, doctor. The forehead where you just bandage up where they. The forehead where you just say, oi, it hurts. Forehead just pretty so. Commit to 3 diagnostic center across the island until we can build up on it, Sharon Pierce. But don't come tell with your narrative or Dr. Tufton. It would be better yet for the nation if you resign. It is what the nation is asking of Dr. Tufton, the Minister of Health, Dr. Jacqueline Bisesa, the Chief Medical Officer, whatever she is, and the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Dustin Bryan, who has failed to report for 8 years because people dead in an office. Ubuntu done it, Harriet. Akebelen, how are you? Because some staff dead. Some staff got fired. And some staff come of age and resign. Dr. Dustin Bryan wants us to believe that that is what caused the failure of him making an annual appropriations report. How the money spent that was budgeted to the Ministry of Health and a yearly budget. Because of him one working at the office. Annie Jones. Because of Dustin alone working at the office. And everybody else fly out. Everybody else dead. And everybody else retire. poor Dustin alone couldn't manage to even submit 1 year of his appropriations report. Not even 1 year, you know. And we're saying to Dustin, provide us a track record of the Easy Jerk World. How are you, bro? Only 63 on the life. Come on, people, don't start. Provide us the detail, Mr. Brian. How much people have retired from the Ministry of Health in the last 8 years? How much have died in the last 8 years? How much has migrated in the last 8 years? Quotes Noreen. And how much, Millicent Jones, people have you employed as ongoing replacement or have used in a temporary role for the last 8 years, Mr. Brian? Because what you're saying here, what you're expecting us to believe is that short of staff, short of qualified staff, Colin Jones, affected you compiling and preparing and submitting the report. But how could you, Dustin? How could you, when we learn from the bad man doctor? Because I know Mikey no mind me call him bad man doctor. Because Mikey a bad man, because no can run go jape up Mikey. No can go jape up every other politician. You can go jape up every other politician, but you can't jape up Mikey. When Mikey make we know, say, you call Jack, Tom, and John and give them contract Dr. Tufton. When you on paper, when you go to procurement, how does Tanfigo report them something the pan appropriation report, Dr. Death? How? So is it that Dustin was short of staff? Or is it that Dr. Tufton just take the country's money and piss it against wall, how him like to, and Dustin have no track record of how Chris Tufton disburse the money at the ministry? So is it Dustin's fault that the appropriations report cannot be submitted? Or is it the minister's fault who refused to follow the procurement, the contractual and procurement processes? You know, to say a plating. Big old a plating, you know. Big old a plating. The whole fleet must go. The whole fleet messed up Dr. Tufton. The whole fleet has failed Dr. Tufton. The whole fleet has brought our healthcare into a worse turmoil than it has been over the years, Dr. Tufton. Just a fall apart piece by piece, so just like the Labour government. Who will decide what is fake news? Ask Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness needs to tell us what is fake news. Because at the moment, in that context, we are confused, Doris Gordon. We are confused by Dana's utterance and the Prime Minister's utterance. They're saying two different things. Who is fake and who is misleading, or who is disinforming or misinforming? I can pay the God for retire. But that's why the budget fly when. Huh? Yeah. I would more to believe that a lot of what going on in the ministry is things we saw come out in doctor with regards to the appropriations report. The contract them and the money them when not on paper are now go through procurement processes. Dustin not have nothing for report. Christopherton could well meet up with one of him friend on the side, and but then again, the finance committee have to release the money there. There's a whole fleet of failure within the ministry. There's technocrats and bureaucrats that ought to be blamed. Real sweet, how are you? Because there's technocrats and bureaucrats in the office, which is signing off these money, Winston Daily. What Dr. Tufton I get for disburse to him friends them or whoever, we don't depend books. So there's people in the ministry that is covering Dr. Tufton's crime against the people. Because he say, Karen Nemard, how are you? Because he say, if people have to release them tant amount of money there, it have to sign off by the financial control officer for Tufton department in it. And a Tufton one can go, the money in a one locker where Tufton can go just go in the locker and go take up a pile, give friend call sing. There's a process of the money being released. But where's the track record? Where's the track record of the release? And to whom? Dr. Tufton have a lot of questions to answer. Dr. Tufton can come out here, come go on bad and all sorts. Dr. Tufton can come out here, come go on bad and all sorts. But there's a lot of questions. Dr. Tufton could come out here and cry wolf. There are a lot of questions. Tony Tall, Angela 48349, how are you? One article come out in a Gleaner, Daniel Archer, them asks Andrew Holness to reveal statutory declaration to fight fake news. Echo, shut up. Prime Minister, if you release then something there, the fake news pan your name we done. The fake news, we are ball out, Prime Minister. Fake news. Let me see if I pull up the article in the Gleaner and quickly read it. Fake news. I'm going to bring it on screen for you. Fake news, Prime Minister. Fake news. Yeah. Hold on there. Hold on, quick there. I'm going to see if I bring up the article here and read. But then, make we go over the little London boy. Call the little boy from London there for me. The little boy from London, the little London boy. Call the little London boy there for me. Me ask him, say, oh, you so fool, my youth. I mean, from the time we out here talk, when you not sit down and listen and say, you know, that's a good idea. I go try that, you know. Every day, when you get up, when you just make another fool of yourself. At 8 years, you're there in a mat. And I just know you're there. You're there for quite some time. Or you get to the place now. I'm sure I talk about that Winchiford one year, where for the last 6 years, 6 years has passed since Minister Delroy Chuck Force told us that discussion were being held to introduce live stream to select criminal and civil court cases. That's far too long with nothing to show. However, we have encouraged that the Chief Justice Brian Syke has again place the issue in the public domain. So this is another JLP failure again, where 6 years ago and to date, nothing on policy paper to say this is where we're going, till the Chief Justice of the keep his mouth shut gets involved. It's just another plethora of JLP failure. Natalia Freeman, thank you for becoming a member to the Global Television brand. Thank you. Just another failure again. But there's a bigger failure here. Here is a ginormous failure. Minister with responsibility for water, Matthew Smoother from London, has tried the People's National Party for its management of the portfolio he is responsible for the last however long, arguing that their policy were a disaster where water was concerned. Seriously, Matthew Smoother, this is not 1 year or 2 years into a Jamaica Labour Party leadership, Mr. Smoother. 8 years, 2 terms, and you still come out here act like an opposition. You still come out here, Matthew Smoother, acting like an opposition. Because that's an argument an opposition should be having, Mr. Smoother. At least their 1 year, or at least we give you your 2 year into office, say, well, then the disaster debacle and the mess that you came in and found, 2 years would be time enough for you to start putting measure in places to turn around the situation. 8 years on. 8 years. 8 years on. Humpty lied and Amber found out. Humpty called IRFM and Amber lose her job. Oh, how much time you gonna fall, Humpty? Remember, say you first fall upon the sitting to shit debacle knife, Humpty. Lilith Lockaby, how are you? How not just a fall apart, so? Lenford Wilson, at what point the Jamaica Labour Party is going to stop, think, reflect, this road we're on is not taking us anywhere, and therefore will not take the country anywhere either. Good God Almighty, Georgia Dennis, isn't it time for a strategic assessment of the Jamaica Labour Party's direction? Isn't it time for the Jamaica Labour Party to reassess themselves? It's not working. We're not blind. It is not working. I don't know where Andrew Holness' head is, but it is just not working, Prime Minister. It is not working. The issue, though, on hell-bent on going into a direction. We're not working on a seat, the country seat, and we're going like everybody to ignore it. So till the Prime Minister come check me with say, if we not call my name, I go and check on you. Just call my name. And see if I don't check on you, I am building a database for you. Remember say, Israel compile me with the galang in them when me for use. And check on you. And for put on in a fear. So you cannot talk about the 8 years of little British maths failure. You have to look at the positive things that dear little Matt has done over the last 8 years. Talk about the good things Matt has done. How no love negativity, so is what the Prime Minister is saying to us. We love negativity too much, while whole heap of something there to talk about, and we're not talking about it. The Prime Minister said we're going to find good news. Good news, Prime Minister. That's what the Prime Minister wants us to talk about. Look how much good things are happening in the country. May I go to the Gleaner to find this article? Hold on, let me see. Let me hold on there. Bonus urge to reveal. So today, 27 of that come out. But don't worry, I soon find your phone. I need to read this article to Uno because let me look on the commentary. Look on the commentary if it's there. Criminal Prime Minister. Criminal Prime Minister and him bunch of failure. Well, after 8 years, and you think you should come out here be calling out the opposition for their failure, and you can't tell us what your 8 years of successes are. That alone is a massive failure, Matthew Samuda. That alone points out a massive failure. Where you come tell me. 8 years after, you have come rebuke the PNP for their water policies when they were in problem, when they were in government. You had 8 years to correct that. You have 8 years to turn the situation around. You have 8 years to implement policies that you thought were wrong. How is it then, Matthew Samuda? You will come talk about these same policy in a public now. And I find reason to blame the People's National Party for it. Isn't this useless feature? Isn't this useless political expediency? Useless political expediency, where after so long, and now you know, walk and recount on your failures, Blue Wave, how you do? You know, walk and recount on your failure, Delroy Henry. Come out here and tell us, Matthew Samoda, how well you have done in your ministry. Tony Tall, thank you for becoming a member to the Global Television Group. Tell us. Explain your track record to us so we can go out there and sing it on the mountain, the hills, and everywhere. Nen Miles, Rosalie Ricketts. Tell us so we can go there, sing it on the hill, the mountain, and everywhere, how well Matthew Samoda has done with our water crisis across the country. Or is it that you have diverted the people of Westmoreland water to a big private investor friend them where build a hotel? So blaming the People's National Party is just to take the attention of the crime that you have committed against Western Jamaica and by extension Jamaican people? Is this a distraction? You blaming the PNP have to be a distraction. It couldn't be, Rena, how you do? It couldn't be anything else except for a distraction, little Matt. If you, after 8 years, Keith Salman, been there, have ample time Pauline Russell, to fix all of this mess that PNP created in our water crisis. The situation, though, Matt, has gotten worse. And you think coming out to blame the People's National Party for their 18 years or so, Monica Hawthorne, Keneal Gale, how you do? James, how are you? You think that's the best route? You think that's a way to communicate with the Jamaican people? You think that is an acceptable explanation for the Jamaican people? That's what you're thinking, you know? Because you wouldn't pluck up with it 8 years after. And just for the Amber Carty out lying. Trolls, wanna hit the like button for me, please? Me know not there. You can't just there, so listen, probably all I take notes. And don't even want to hit the like button. Hit the like button, man. I don't have to go on, so. When I don't have to go on, so. One day I'm going to share my YouTube studio screen and show you when I look when I want to war with you. But I'm not tan bad. I'm not tan bad. All if me never do live, more than out I do a long time from morning. When me buy my fruits, my fruits breakfast this man, I wouldn't head back into the house, would I head into the park. But 2 coffee come sit down with Uno. Come sit down with Uno when I tell her, hit the like button. But never mind. Sheena Kelly, how are you? Them say PNP water policies was a crisis for it. What would you call the JLP water crisis under your tenure for the last 8 years? Even the water shop them, wanna use and scam people. Wanna send the drum them and tainted kangal to no friend them. And no friend them sell it to people who already have suffer for buy water. See there? Not complicated, but expensive. Can more expensive more with Dr. Tough than thief. This is my problem with these politicians. When you talk about things to do with the Jamaican people, them go on like the country don't have money. And my God, when them a thief, them not on a limit to where them thief. When politician a thief, we country don't broke. When politician a thief, we country don't broke. But when them for disburse money for the meaningful thing for Jamaicans, that's when the country goes broke. The country not enough money. Wait till politician a thief, and when we see that Jamaica have money, just look on the amount where Royal Reid alone thief. Just look on where Grace McLean thief. Just look on where Faval thief. Just look on where Andrew thief. Just look on where the man there we want hang young boy name Bobby Montague thief. I'm sure if we do an audit at Harris Strong office, this is one of the biggest thievery because you don't have to give certain excuse for budget under national security. You just can't wave the national security flag. So always observing and you get budget and nobody don't know where you get it for our way spend pan because it's national security. 6 billion US to fix sewage and water. Mm. We don't hear from Kamala. Call Andrew a foreign and give Andrew the 31 million US. 10 million US out of that, if my memory served me right, was to implement youth initiatives, to go towards youth initiatives in aid of the reduction of crime. Since Andrew Holness come back from America in a 2002 with the 31 million US dollar. Only hear gunfire about that money, or only ever hear about a project with that money fund. But then the dead Joe Biden don't want to know because them willing to go do him dirty work in Haiti. Today is the 27th, Thursday, 27th of June. It is the day when the final vote will be had in the Kenyan Parliament on the 2024-2025 financial bill, Precious Allen, which has brought the country into a debacle. It could get worse today. It could get better. If Parliament vote down the bill, the demonstrators will stand down and pull back. If the bill is passed, there could be outright anarchy in Kenya. So we're keeping an eye on Kenya throughout the day because William Ruto, the American puppet, is not listening to the young people. They want the tax bill pulled, scrapped, and Ruto must go. Lorna Smith, how are you? I want people from Jamaica all around the country start using the phone and send images or whatever to vloggers, whatever the problem in a Jamaica on the one get call out and highlight. If you're not afraid of Andrew out there, on a video this thing them, make sure on a vice down face door in there and send it come a foreign give. We're not afraid of nobody. People not up in frightened way. People, Pamela Akola, not up in a frightened way. So if Andrew try to clamp on a down, he pulled it from yesterday's vote, but we know to him that Ruto just a try to check the picnic them through then get in a parliament, you see. What Ruto is required to do is resign or scrap that tax bill. The people don't want the new tax any at all. They were happy with what the tax were in Kenya. So let's see how I'm going to try double round the people, them, Patricia Bartley. But the young people of Kenya are awoke. And this is the problem that Ruto has on his hands that he cannot deal with at the moment. Okay, let's read through this article. Daniel Archer, Principal Director of the National Integrity Action. Holness urged to reveal statutory declaration to fight fake news. Let's get on with it. Principal Director of the National Integrity Action, NIA, Daniel Archer, is urging the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, make public his 2021 and 2022 statutory declaration to combat misinformation, disinformation, and fake news or alternative facts that may be circling concerning why it has been certified by the Integrity Commission. Oh, this thing them a fly, some no one start bunny. Echo. The Integrity Commission Anti-Corruption Watchdog say it was not able to certify the Prime Minister's statutory declaration for at least 2 years. Section 56, subsection 1 of the Integrity Commission Act imposes a gag on the Commission and bar it from disclosing information and statutory declaration, government contract and license. Any such information can only be made public when a report is tabled in Parliament. Section 53 also imposes a restriction on disclosure of information. The IC has consistently called for the gag order to be repealed or revised, arguing that international best practice in anti-corruption, as well as good governance, accountability, and transparency in public affairs, demand a restriction upon sharing public interest information should be revisited. And with the submission of the IC 6th annual report to Parliament on Wednesday, Executive Director of Jamaicans for Justice, Miguel Johnson says, Mikhail Johnson says, she hoped the Commission annual report touches on the matter of the illicit enrichment of 6 parliamentarians and other public officials, so the public could have a sense of the status of the investigation, given the high public interest in the matter. She told the Gleaner yesterday that the same should apply to the Prime Minister's statutory declaration. You hear a kind of passing the buck where the Prime Minister is responding to journalists in every abstract term, but you will hear nothing from the Integrity Commission, she says. Last November, the Prime Minister indicated that he was in the process of responding to a second set of questions from the IC regarding statutory declaration. During a post-cabinet briefing, Holness said, they had written to me asking various questions. I have provided answers, and they have written to me, and I am in the process of providing those answers. With the waffling the Prime Minister usually does. However, the Prime Minister has not provided an update on his interaction with the anti-corruption body. Speaking with the Jamaican Gleaner yesterday, Arthur responded to concern that lawmakers being probed for illicit enrichment could be on the Joint Select Committee reviewing the Integrity Commission Act Oversight Committee. She said, given the propensity of parliamentarians to protect themselves rather than the institution of Parliament, there is a grave concern. Archer said, concern were heightened since it is now apparent that parliamentarians seem to refuse to support to support and implement impeachment legislation. She argued that both code of conduct and impeachment legislation would have been acknowledged as important in ensuring that any person of high integrity, that only person of high integrity serve in Parliament. In the absence of both, and in the face of the revelation of the probe of 6 lawmakers for possible illicit enrichment, Archer noted that there would be concern as to whether lawmakers would make policy decisions in the interest of people of Jamaica or in the interest of themselves, their colleagues, and our associates. Archer argued that a moral tenable position for any party as respecting the rule of law in Jamaica would be to disclose that they are being questioned by IC about their declaration. If they know that they are being investigated and have not told the people they serve, when the smoke clear, we can conclude that these members of parliament lack integrity and do not belong in parliament, she declared. However, Jackson has placed on the table a different position as it relates to the lawmakers who might be members of the committee and review matters relating to IC. She said Jamaicans for Justice was not calling for the 6th parliamentarian being probed for illicit enrichment to be named. However, she said if lawmakers being investigated for illicit enrichment currently sit on the Integrity Oversight Commission and the Joint Select Committee reviewing the IC law, both committees should be disbanded and other members named to avoid intentional disclosure. And therefore, if persons were being investigated because they were being aware of that status without intentionally naming them, they would be able to step aside. Jackson also echoed Jamaicans for Justice call for the IC to be entrenched in the Constitution to guard against attempts by anyone who is being investigated by anti-corruption body who may take steps to undermine the commission. She said the investigation of illicit enrichment was a very serious matter. Jackson indicated that when such probe is triggered, it means that there was a mismatch between the income and asset of the person being probed. On Wednesday, the IC reported that it submitted the 2023-2024 annual report to Parliament for tabling. The IC said, I wonder when we all get to hear the bang around. The IC said it anticipates that the annual report will be tabled in Parliament as soon as possible. It says once the report is tabled, the IC will publish it on its website. We are waiting. We are waiting. I wonder if Andrew is ready for the storm. Good morning to those who have joined while we were reading and not focusing. Thank you very much for being here this morning and being a part of the global brand. Maybe Prime Minister, the fake news argument, Claudette Robinson, Monica Wills, will soon be put to bed. But then again, because the fake news, Miranda Roddock, may be negative to the Prime Minister, it might still be fake news because when you listen to the Prime Minister carefully, The Prime Minister is not bothered much about fake news. Fake news is the facade. What the Prime Minister is rather worried about, it's criticisms, showing the negative aspects, the failure. Did I see Carlos just now? Well, go on, bro. The Prime Minister is not bothered about fake news. Fake news is a facade to get to create new laws or go after people and them something there. The issue with the Prime Minister is criticism, and that's what we need to draw from the Prime Minister's utterance. The Prime Minister is saying to us, he doesn't like to be criticized. He doesn't like the failure and negativity, lack of governance, accountability, and the swelter of corruption in his government to be called out. And that the Prime Minister basically has set away. Fake news is a facade. Is a facade to ramp up the argument, because him knows that if him come to it with the criticism, because Merlin Bryan, how are you? When the Prime Minister, when you listen the Prime Minister down to the end, it's about the Prime Minister putting Jamaica youths against each other to counter ideas, to come talk about the good and positive thing, but we can barely find to talk about in your government, Prime Minister O'Neill Gale. And them something that the Prime Minister problem, it's really not fake news. The issue is criticism. And that's the understanding where we should walk away with, that the Prime Minister is telling us that in an election year, or negative criticism is going to be damaging for his election success in an election year. It's just plainly that. It's nothing beyond that. It's nothing to do with fake news. It's about the Prime Minister shoring up his election chances. He's not been called out. His failures are not being pointed out. Jeanette Stewart Jones, how are you? In failure, in lack of, in failed promises, in corruption, in lack of integrity, and all them something that, and them something that him afraid getting called out. Enough fake news are the Prime Minister problem. Why you think the Prime Minister would have just roll out of bed one morning and get up on the fake news story? The Prime Minister says there is no way to stop the independent journalism community from criticizing him, calling him out, repeatedly bringing up back stories in public. And them something there. So when you see Dana Morris Dixon saying we go over Gleaner to go verify a story after Gleaner changed the headline, which one of the headline was true? In the case of Audrey Marks and the wife of the Black Widow, the Black Widow's wife. In that regard, which one of the headline was true? Which one was fake news? Which one was misleading information? Which one was mis or disinformation? Joan Brown, how are you? You see the pickle. You see the pickle where Jamaica Labour Party end up in a. Cause said they don't want to shut them out. And them mouth keep getting in this problem, you know. And them still are open it. But people, fake news is not the issue. Because nobody know they are spread no fake news. 99.999% of the time, whatever will come out here, compress the Prime Minister and it have a source in the main news. It is sourced from the main news, or we always put up things where we read or whatever in it. People not come out here pull. You don't like when people tell you, go kiss out your mama Bible Prime Minister. But when you put up yourself on the high office there, anything goes with you. Nobody now have respect for you. A Jamaican people alone get it wrong, Elga Fletcher. That prime ministers and president, we must have respect and manners to them. Boris Johnson never earned any respect in Britain. He never earned people respect because he's a prime minister. Donald Trump did not earn people respect because he's a president. George Bush never earned people respect because he's a president. Tony Blair never did. A Jamaican alone conjure up the idea so if we have respect for president. Look at American president, they get wholly demonized in mainstream media. Carrie Mariale, how are you? Them get demonized in mainstream media and them have to suck it up and get on with it. Because if them never give us something to talk about, it would not talk about. You understand? Andrea, how you doing? Zenette Beckford, good morning. First time seeing you on the Global Television Group. Thank you for joining. I mean, what we hope for the Jamaica Labour Party is that they get a grip. At the end of the day, the decision where they make affect with the ship where capsized and a sink with the Jamaica Labour Party affects the country. So I have to help them and give them advice, but my God, if an election we talk to them and they now listen. Because through the Labour Party, used to the mud wallering situation, they just think going into a all-out mud rubbing show, at some point, they will get their mojo back. Kevin Davis. They will get their mojo back. And with that optic and mojo, it will help the Prime Minister to call a snap election. That was 2016, my friend. All the power there now. You ever say dog a tear up dead meat? Everybody a haul one piece, one part over here, so. Everybody a haul piece in a different direction, Prime Minister. Lexi Bayer, how are you? Coming from South Wales. Hello, thank you very much for watching Global Television from South Wales. Thank you. It is what the Prime Minister has become across social media. Dog just a pull meat go yaso and so because since the local government election, the Prime Minister and the Jamaica Labour Party has fallen off the wagon. And my God, they are just capsizing and sinking the ship called Jamaica. We can't just stand up and don't give them advice, Evan Riley. We have to advise the Jamaican government, stop, reflect, and take a different direction. This one certainly isn't going where it will benefit your governance or the country. But they're so stiff-necked over the Jamaica Labour Party, you see. They believe that let us sling the mud. Let us roll. We now wash out the hog pen. We just add more mud and roll in it. It's not working. It is not working. You are how much months on from the local government election, and it's months of collapse and calamity. Which week, don't in the headline for some blunder? Why should Matthew Samuda, after 8 years, and have done nothing for the water situation in Jamaica, coming out now after 8 years to blame the People's National Party on their policies when they were there? What have you done in the 8 years, Mr. Samuda, to correct the debacle where you gonna go find? This is not a year or two into the Jamaica Labour Party first term, Mr. Samuda. I probably would have accepted that argument from you 6 years ago, 7 years ago, Mr. Samuda. Althea Johnson, how are you? 6 or 7 years ago, Mr. Samuda, I could have accepted such an argument from you, Dorothy Elliott, because it's what you have come in or came in to find. But after 8 years, the end of your second term, and you find reason to blame the People's National Party for water crisis. So who divert the people's water in Westmoreland to hoteliers to build them hotel? Was that People's National Party policy? I'm sure when the pump did take up out of our pump house, a party St. Elizabeth up a hilltop, I'm sure it wasn't under the PNP government. That was done under Dr. Tufton's tenure. Just like how Dr. Tufton destroyed the fishing industry in a St. Elizabeth, while at the same time, him and him friend them are bringing rainforest, and at the same time, Dr. Tufton allego lionfish in our fishing waters. You know, see how Dr. Tufton destroy the fishing economy to make rainforest come take over the fisheries industry in Jamaica now. Dr. Tufton, Dr. Corruption, Dr. Death, was the one that destroyed St. Elizabeth and a lot of Jamaica offshore fishing economy by letting go lionfish in our waters and bringing one different type of wire where as you drop it in a water, it mash up, but it was more expensive than the wire them were used to work. And the fish industry mash up from Parity to PJK across the whole St. Elizabeth. It destroyed the fishing industry. When I'm watching more than a year, I'm silent listener. You're from my husband area, from St. Elizabeth. Okay. I'm from there too. Okay, Miss Beckford, thank you for watching. Thanks for revealing yourself after being a silent listener for some time. Thank you. But everything while going yaso goes back to the Jamaican people. Because I say, you see, as long as we sit down, Opal Harris, how are you? As long as we sit down and allow this government to run ram raid over we, as long as we allow the badmanship and the one-upmanship from the Andrew Holness regime, it's going to continue to break down my people. Healthcare breakdown under them, education breakdown under them, water service breakdown under them. Come on, people. Come on, education and healthcare. If you don't have a healthy nation, and if you don't have an educated nation, you're not gonna win. It'll go hard for your GDP rise because you only produce criminal and people for cemetery. And that's what we did. We're producing more for the dead house than we're producing for the universities. When PNP come in, the crime, the murder rate was 12,000. 1,200, sorry, for the year. And you cannot get it below that since you come in. But every day, you still sit down and tell we say, crime is down, but the perception of crime is up. Idiot. A crime costs perception. You cannot have perception of a high crime rate if there's not a high crime rate. Are you saying then, Prime Minister, that a few fake news across the high perception, a few miss or disinformation causing the high perception in crime? No, it's rather simple. The perception of crime is high, Prime Minister, because of the reported frequency and escalation of crime across mainstream media. Half the time, a lot of the death them what Popeye publish, only don't turn an eye to them. Half the time, a lot of the deaths, Prime Minister, that Popeye would bring, Popeye Newslink would bring to public view, only don't talk about them. Hold on, my machine stop, make me go open it. Just enjoy Jamaica, call us, stay me come back.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again. What people do in no money, what people at you in no at you. Covid money missing we in the your little rat you. Use the youth them on the waste and must have anti-statue. Say me like a cashew but bigger than a figure you. Take the spit of money gal and say that it's not you. On the head the man above end up him a got a bet. Too much it in the kitchen, some a fly well like a patu. When singers and DJs and social media's coming at you. It burn me 300% raise. It burn me garbage pile of the day. It burn me give the teacher them raise. It burn me I see corruption face. It burn me mash down the people them house. It burn me every day appear arms out. It burn me appear money them a thief. It burn me and them a sell.
Thank you very much and welcome back. Jamaica people, me not ask you to go riot, you know. Me not ask you to go be disobedient. What I'm asking is that to show the government that the people's strength matters. You can protest peacefully. You can demonstrate. Apply for whatever you need to apply for. Demonstrate. You can strike. You can go upon sickness. You cannot allow a government to go on like this without any pushback. It is why the government have that bad man approach ever since COVID especially, because the government sees in a COVID in bad up successfully and get away with it. The government in a COVID breached the COVID rule and use political expediency to get a landslide mandate in parliament. Ever since the government get it, it has been using it to abuse you. The government use it for bad up, and nobody don't see where it's going, that it getting worse. So till the Prime Minister don't think to say he should go and track criminals. But if you chop with the freedom of speech, you're going to need blood pressure tablet. You think a tracking alone you're going to need blood pressure tablet, because what you're going to do, if you put any restriction on Jamaica people, freedom of speech at home, you're just going to open up more freedom of speech in the diaspora. You're just going to open a can of worms. You're just going to open a can of worms amongst the Jamaican diaspora community. And I know when it hit crunch point, Christopher Murray, there are Jamaicans that will stand up when them say, no, we have to take back with power. We have to take back with country. We belong to it. Them thief all of the money we fi run with country. We can't allow them for bad way up, so. We can't allow them for bad way up. And until it get there, so, my people, the liberty is going to continue. The government is going to continue to take liberty with us until it gets to the point where we are so fed up of this government where we have to do meaningful pushbacks against them. Nothing not so if you stay calm to government and state abuse. Everything says you must stand up and fight against state abuse. Even if them are going to broke the code like Kenya to turn bullet, William Ruto, you're a criminal. You shall die in hell, William Ruto. We're declaring destruction and poverty upon your generation of children, William Ruto, because you have fired live bullets on peaceful protesters. You, William Ruto, has fired live rounds. You have fired live rounds. Take a look at the Easy Jerk World link, my family. Carol Gale, how are you? Junior Crop, how are you? You fired live rounds at peaceful, unarmed protester, William Ruto, and you should die in hell. Your generation should be cursed for the rest of your life because you gave the orders to blow people head off. You gave the orders to blow people brains out, William Ruto, the criminal. And the quicker we get rid of Andrew Holness, because that is where Andrew Holness wants to take us. That is where Andrew Holness wants to take us. Velma Hall, good morning. Is take us into violence, where the Prime Minister has been militarizing the country, while the Prime Minister is baiting war with the people, while the Prime Minister is provoking the people, the Prime Minister is militarizing the country. Jamaica people, be aware, be awoken, and be tactical. Be aware, be awoken, and be tactical. I will repeat for the third time. Be aware, be awoken, and be tactical. Otherwise, them are going to lead us back into slavery. They are going to lead us back into slavery if we continue to let them just go on the way they are without any check. My people, we need to wake up. That sleeping hour we're in, it's beyond the pale now. The sleeping of the Jamaica society is beyond the pale. Where even transgender law, Jamaicans don't feel the need to stand up to. Honest or beat out Jamaicans. What you were known for before reggae music, Jamaica, is your rebellious stance against injustice. That was what you were known for globally. A protector of human rights, Jamaica. Go back and look at your history. Before the world knew you with reggae music, the world knew of that Jamaica who stand against imperialism, that Jamaica who stand against barbarity, the Marcus Garvey Jamaica. The Marcus Garvey Jamaica, which give inspiration to Kwame Ture, which give inspiration to Patrice Lumumba, which gave inspiration to Nelson Mandela, gave inspiration to Martin Luther, Malcolm X, Stokely, and all those other people. That was what Jamaica was known for on the international scene before UNO can turn it into a sad malarkey of a state. Jamaica was well respected up there as a human rights bastion, as a protection for rights, truth, and justice. Jamaica, how do we get here? How has we fallen to here, where we have become the most corrupt, the most murderous, the most country where kill and kidnap young girls, the country where normalize pedophile, because for me I pick the pedophilia normalized in Jamaica, where everybody know of a big man, whether with a little school girl, whether be a bus driver, a taxi driver, a police, a teacher, a doctor, a judge, a soldier, and everyone away. Cost the little girl how she love big man. See what Jamaica turn today. See what Jamaica turn out to today. And at them your time, them a run around and talk, brand Jamaica, brand Jamaica, brand Jamaica, la la. What is it that brand Jamaica is? Brand Jamaica, what is it? What have we left to boast about? Not even reggae we don't have anymore. And I come, brand Jamaica, brand Jamaica. Oh, not damn fool. Doing Hutchinson, how you do? Brand Jamaica, brand Jamaica. What is it and where is it and who does it benefit? Our legitimate questions. Brand Jamaica, brand Jamaica. Oh, no, dunce. Dunce. Fail Jamal. You set a fail Jamal dunce. Brand Jamaica, brand Jamaica. What it is, what does it mean? Because we are fools, you see. We are fools. We go walk and spread another propaganda that we can't explain to anybody what it means. Who does it benefit? Where can you find it? Do you find it at Choybridge or do you find it on a private beach in Negril or Montego Bay? What is it? Tell me, where do you find brand Jamaica? Brand Jamaica, brand Jamaica, la la la. Jamaica people no need to wake up. You're sleeping. Allow everybody to step over on one thief and commit crime. And when you wake up, all on us around on his death and destruction. On us a damn fool. Talk it truth. On not tired. On not tired. Boy, I'm sorry for we. I'm sorry for the whole of we. Because the whole of we not together, you know. Even though we made our Europe and North America, and the whole of we still in it together. Because one day, we're going to have to run with from Europe and North America because it's getting sticky out here. Sticky out here. It'll get sticky. That's why we ratchet it up so. Because we are look place figure. Where we are going to come, sir? You think we can left off an electric bed in a hospital in a Britain, come lay down on cardboard or in a chair, sir? Sickness is an uncomfortable feeling. And to be in an uncomfortable position while being sick, Prime Minister, it's a death sentence. Ladybug, how you do? We are look placed for run, go Prime Minister. But Jamaicans are look placed for run from. Never under anybody else's governance. About 23 dead in Kenya now, Carleen. About 23 people dead by now. Never before in brand Jamaica have we seen people walking the long route to the United States without going through the visa and embassy route. Never before have we seen in our country where people are run for a hard life, for a better life. We used to wait until we get a visa to go look a better life, Prime Minister. We never walk through the lonesome, treacherous, deadly routes to avoid what our Jamaica has become under your Holiness regime. Hmm? You know, sister Jamaica mash up. You know, sister, you take with country and mash it up. Prime Minister. Good governance. You have good governance, adult friend. That's why you know why we criticize you. That's why you jump out with the fake news. But Prime Minister, that fake news argument where you come out with, have you noticed that you have created more problem than you were in when it comes to your anti-democratic behavior? I mean, we have many court rulings against the Prime Minister from even when you were a leader of the opposition, how undemocratic you are. Have you seen the swelter that you have caused on social media? Even those who didn't get involved in the political bangarang and brouhaha is coming out to vent their disgust of your utterance. Don't matter how much Dora comes out and want to walk it back and try to grin at us with her dirty, greasy hair. We don't believe her. We know. We know say a liar no tell. We know we're not telling lies. So don't expect us to just sit down, stoop up the lie, walk and take, because this is what you're asking us to do in the Prime Minister, and that makes you a very dangerous person. You're asking us to go out there and tell lies to show you in a good light. You're asking us to go there and spun narratives. People pass what me never even say. Anointed one, Garfield Douglas, how no do? You're going out there, Prime Minister, asking us to spun useless narrative in order to show your government in a good light to give you better chances at the next general election. That's all you're asking. That is all you are asking of us, Prime Minister. Help me paint a picture, a good picture of me to the people of Jamaica. Help me paint a good picture of me to the electorate so I can be victorious at the next election. Basically, that the gripe is, the gripe has nothing to do with fake news. Because I know, you know, come out and come talk with one of the fake news what anybody put out is. You know what I mean? So cut it, Prime Minister. Cut the crap. All that we are big people. A time for you stop talk to we like we are picking it. And go kiss out your mama Bible, as Lady Sarah would say. Dan Fox, how you do? Thank you all very much for being here with us this morning. I don't know where the rest of the day be. Me have mango already, so I have to do something. I have my mango, I have my grape, I have melon. So I got car fruit platter. Go park with me and I got spend the whole day in a park. Shops all around the park. If me hungry, me run go look something yam. If my fruits them and my water can carry me. But thank you all very much for being here this morning. And a big thank you to Natalia Freeman and Tony Tall for becoming membership this morning on Global Television. Thank you all very much. We appreciate all of you constant support to the Global Television brand. Continue to subscribe, continue to like and share, and help the message to get out there. Thank you very much, and good morning, good afternoon from Global Television. Mel Cynic, good morning, good morning. Pardon, Mel Cynic, pardon, good morning. As the lady, good morning. Good morning, and thank you all for joining. See you all later. Morning. Thank you all for joining. Shanka B, big up yourself. Big up yourself, Shanka B.